Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. In today's video, this is it's actually the podcast episode 2 of the Aspect podcast, and I've got some topics here. So, my friend told me about a post, and it said, if you had to get rid of one of these things, which would you get rid of? Nintendo, PlayStation, Xbox, or Steam? Specifically, not PC, but Steam. And I've been thinking about this for a while. I'm gonna go ahead and let you know I'm keeping Steam for sure. I'm definitely, you gotta keep Steam. Most people's thoughts are probably going, oh, Nintendo. But you gotta think about it like this. Me personally, that's what I think. But you gotta think it like this. PlayStation and Xbox are very similar in the games that they have. I understand like the exclusives, but aren't those coming to PC? So yeah. Hold on. Okay, I'm sorry. Anyway, I think I'd still go Nintendo, but you gotta think. I'm considering, actually, I may have changed my answer. No, I don't mind. Never mind. Okay, remember this for what I'm about to say. I think I'm still picking Nintendo to get rid of. And by the way, when I say get rid of, that doesn't mean you go back in time and get rid of it. That just means right now they disappear. Is how I'm going to interpret it. So, oof, this is tough. But I still need to say Nintendo. But again, there's the argument for saying, okay, we're keeping Steam and Nintendo. Let's just get rid of one of the Xbox or PlayStations because they're very similar. And I see where they're coming from. And if I had to pick one of the consoles to get rid of, Xbox or PlayStation, I understand the whole console wars thing, bro. Just please stop for a moment. But, oof, PlayStation or Xbox. See, honestly, pros and cons to both. But I think I'd probably keep Xbox, get rid of PlayStation if I had to pick that. But out of the 4 options, Nintendo, Steam, Xbox, PlayStation, I'm probably going to get rid of Nintendo. But if I had to pick between Xbox or PlayStation, I think I'd get rid of PlayStation and keep Xbox. I think that's just more because I play Xbox more than PlayStation. But, I don't know. I think that's what I'd pick. But it's, see, Nintendo's very, it's very, I'm trying to put in the word, Nintendo's been very, okay, I think if you had to make this option, you go back in time and then you stop it from being created. I think that actually can change the question at points. Because Nintendo early on was very influential. I think the other stuff may have still happened or something very similar. But if you had, see, the way I posed the first time I said that question, literally a couple seconds ago, was, okay, if you just had to remove it now, like you snap your fingers and it's gone, poof. But now I'm adding this variable into the question. Is it still the same answer if you had to go back in time and change, and it would just never be created? We're going to assume it's never, ever created. Like, there's nothing similar to, no. Whatever you pick's never getting created. Would it still be Nintendo? I think everyone still is not going to pick Steam. Apparently, my friend said that apparently one person said Steam to get rid of, which is insane. But that's not what we're talking about here. I'm keeping Steam, of course. What would I do? Would I still pick Nintendo? I don't know that I would, honestly. I don't think I would pick Nintendo if I throw that variable in. I think I'd pick one of the consoles. Now, which console? Honestly, it's a 50-50, bro. Once again, just because I played more Xbox, I'd probably pick PlayStation to get rid of again. But, so for the first time I asked the question, I'd pick Nintendo if it was just gone today. But stop it from being invented. But then again, they're all it's a sucky question. You know, they're all very useful and good. But it's a tough question. But yeah, those are my answers there. Now, I've got a Reddit story here. Am I the asshole for trying to get my autistic friend to tell the truth? I just kind of pulled this up because I thought it'd be fun to throw into the pod. By the I don't even know that I mentioned this. This is a solo pod. I think that might have been clear, but I'm just letting you know. So, I've been friends with a man with autism for around 20 years, and he regularly lies to me. And it's driving me nuts. He'll lie about little things, like telling me he vacuumed at blank time when I was in the next room, and the vacuum never got turned on. Just little things like this, but constant. Anyway, he and I talk about both being single, and I've been in several relationships, and I had a handful of one-night stands. He's never been in a relationship anyway. We're at my apartment drinking wine, and he tells the story about a casual hookup he had with this woman. While it isn't impossible, it's very unlikely. His social skills are not the finest, and as far as I know, he's never kissed a woman in his entire life. And he tells me about every interaction he has with a female, every failed date, etc. And then he got into details that were so unbelievable about the supposed one-night stand, it was clear it was just an absurd lie. He claims this is how he lost his virginity, and it happened a couple years ago, but it was such a stupid story, and he claims to not remember her last name. And he remembers everything. And for the first time in my life, I called him out. I told him he was still a virgin, and I can't stand why he lies to me. And no one cares he's a virgin. I definitely don't care. But I do care that he lies. So she doesn't care he's a virgin, but cares that he lies. And he just kept insisting that this unblatantly untrue hookup happened. Am I an asshole for calling him out? Are you? I would say no, you're not. I don't know. Is that okay? I'm gonna be very careful with what I say. I don't think that's a part. Is that a part of autism? Okay, whatever I'm about to say, I'm not sure. But is that a part of autism? I don't think so. I think there's people who don't tell the truth that have autism, but I don't think, regardless of the disability. Did she even have to mention the autistic part? Yeah, I don't know that you had to, but regardless. Or are you the asshole? No, you're not, but, I mean, I guess it could be true, but apparently this sounds like, I wish we could hear details more about the story, because I can't tell if it's absurd lie with these small details. Based off of what the story tells us, you're not the asshole, but there could be some uncovered information we haven't heard. But just based off of that specific factor, I would say you're probably not the asshole for that. I don't think you are. Because, I mean, yeah, he's just wanting to tell you just wanted to tell the truth. If it's just not right. Anyway, next, we're going to go for another one. Am I the asshole for wanting my money sent to me instead of my mother? Oh boy. So for background, I receive universal credit and pay an amount of that towards rent so I can live with my parents. I don't get a lot of money, and it's cheaper than renting my own place. The money I have gets sent to my mother's card instead of my own, and I was thinking of having it changed to my card for a while because it would be easier to simply send her the rent money instead of her having to subtract it and work out how much she's supposed to send me. She's not good at math, so it takes around 30 minutes for her just to subtract the rent from what I'm getting paid. That and I would just feel more comfortable if I was receiving the money that's entitled specifically to me, okay? My brother brought up that he wouldn't trust her mother with his money. Okay, so brother already doesn't trust the mother with the money. And it reminded me that I was thinking of asking the providers to send money somewhere else. So when she got back, I asked her how I'd go about that. She herself receives universal credits, so she would, of course, know how to work the website, whereas I've only been getting it for a month or so I barely know how the website works. As it turns out, while she was gone, she was using a camera in the living room to snoop on me and what my brother were talking about. Oof. And now she's throwing a tantrum because I happen to remember that I wanted to change where my money goes and asked her how I go about that. So, well, number one, that's already not good. So, if I'm understanding, the mother put the camera to snoop and then heard what this poster and the brother were talking about, how they wouldn't trust the mother with the money, and that the poster wanted it to go to her specifically. Personally, I think she's being childish. This isn't my opinion yet. This is the last paragraph. Personally, I think she's being childish in her claims that she isn't being paranoid when she's literally spying on me to see what I'm being told by other people. Just prove it's the complete opposite. If anything to me, her throwing a fit because I want my money to be sent to my car instead of hers just proves what my brother says about not trusting her with it. Because surely if she was trustworthy, she'd have no issue showing me how I have the money sent to the other person's card. Okay. Are the asshole for wanting my money to send to me instead of my mother? At first, I could see the take going, yeah, maybe. At first sight, like the first couple sentences. But the full story, I mean, at this point, no. It shows the brother, if the brother doesn't already trust it, that's not a good sign. And then her putting the camera to snoop is insane. That could be its own story in itself. I'm going to look at some of the comments here. Let's see. Oh, I think the poster actually did reply to this. So let's see. So it's a question. How old are you? How and why did your mother end up receiving your money in the first place? And then the poster replied. Where did it go? I accidentally clicked off of something here. Hold on. Okay, anyway. Okay, here it is. So the poster turned 18 last month on the 26th. Like, this post was made 4 hours ago of me recording this. So, turned 18 last month on the 26th. We originally asked for the money to go to her card because she seems to be bad with money. I don't think I am anymore, and I'd prefer to have my money sent to my own card instead. I think I'm on the poster side here. Because it's like... Yeah, regardless if she's right in that case, the mother putting the cameras and saying that, again, that could be its own story in the first place. But anyway, one from literally an hour ago of me recording this. So, am I the asshole for calling out a coworker? Today I got fired, and he got fired. For a year, everyone watched him have the worst work ethic and drive. He stands around and does nothing and stares at people, and it holds us back from what needs to be finished. It's known to management how he performs, but they just drop him down to 3 hours a week instead of terminating him. Okay, from the start, I mean, if he's not doing anything, they probably should fire him. But anyway, you ask him to kindly move as he intentionally leans and takes up only walking space in the cramped store, and he glares at you before sidestepping in the slowest fashion to barely get by. Talks highly of himself, that he used to be a manager, that B used... What? Okay, wait. He talks highly of himself, that B used to be a manager, whatever that means, that he knows everything that there is about the store, but sits and does nothing for shifts. Last night was the breaking point. I called him for what he was, a no-drive slacker, standing fat piece of shit statue who brings the whole team down, bro. Because he has nothing to gain. He spat in my mouth mid-sentence. That you're not tough, bro. I called HR, okay, Human Resources. He's already on parole for crimes he did a year back. My coworkers are happy he's gone, happy I did something. But I stooped to a point I try my hardest not to be at. I believe to be the asshole that my temper got the best of me, and I'm paying in karma. Or whatever. Are you the asshole for doing this? No. It sounds like the poster's guilty here, but... Someone said, I hope you press charges. I don't know about that. Maybe. I don't think the poster's the asshole here. Because... No. Because based on what they're saying, this guy's just rude, and he's not. But also, was it the management? Okay, the management's at fault also. This man is sitting here not doing anything, and y'all are aware of it, but y'all are just not doing anything about it. Anyway, next one. So, okay, am I the asshole for choosing to drive 45 plus minutes at 3 a.m. instead of by following my dad's separate room rules? So my boyfriend is 23 and I am 22, and we're going on vacation. Our flight is at 6 a.m., so we'd have to be there at 3 a.m. My parents' house is closest to the airport, being only 20 minutes from it. It'd be the easiest to stay here, as my apartment and boyfriend's house are farther than 45 minutes. My parents offered us to stay at their house so they can also drive us there, so we don't have to pay for parking. This is ideal, but my dad is uncomfortable with my boyfriend staying in my room. However, my mom is comfortable. My dad wants him to sleep in the guest room since we are not married and should sleep together under his roof. I understand this and will respect his wishes, but I am uncomfortable with my boyfriend being in the guest room. We are both respectful people who have been together for a while now. So in order to make everyone comfortable, I told my dad we will be staying at my apartment. He got mad and said he wants to be the one driving us to the airport. I told him that would be ideal, but I am uncomfortable with my boyfriend staying in the guest room. He then asked why I'm making a big deal out of this. I have an amazing relationship with my dad and hate to argue about this. He's literally my hero, and I respect him, but I'm wondering if I'm at fault here. Edit for clarity. My boyfriend does not know about this. He is the first man I've ever asked to stay over. I have respected my dad's wishes until now. I'm asking due to convenience and time we've been together. He's my first serious boyfriend. Another edit for context. I am fine sleeping on my own. The reason I'm uncomfortable with him in the guest room is I am always a respectful adult towards my dad and feels like he does not trust me to stay that way under his roof. Also, my 17-year-old younger brother was allowed to have 17-year-old girlfriends stay behind closed doors, but I'm not. Whew, okay. I'm not sure that you're the asshole here. Okay, without that last edit, to be honest, it kind of sounds like, I wouldn't say you're an asshole without that last edit, but I mean, it is kind of his roof. He somewhat owns the house with the mother, so you kind of gotta respect his rules. But with this last edit for context, I mean, I'm assuming her, I don't know, but her younger brother, who's 17, had a 17-year-old girlfriend stay behind closed doors, but she couldn't, and she's 22 and her boyfriend's 23. But it's because they're not married. I mean, first, it's his house, but I mean, this was 27 days ago, so I wonder what the update is on this. But I would probably talk to the dad about it. I would just say, hey, why is my younger brother able to have that, his girlfriend behind closed doors, but I can't? We're older, more responsible, most likely. Now, here's something that could change the scenario. She said, and the second, it wasn't even it was the edit for clarity, the second to last edit. She said, he is my first serious boyfriend. Serious is the highlight there. Did she have other non-serious boyfriends and they got up to some shenanigans? You can imagine what I'm talking about, which is why the father doesn't want that. That's the part that could be left out of the story that is crucial. She mentioned, I'm going to keep saying she because I don't know, but first serious boyfriend. Was there other not that serious one-night stands maybe that got in that home and did something when the younger brother only had that one girlfriend? Maybe that's why the father wants them not to stay in the same room. If that's not the case, then I think the father potentially is in the wrong. But that whole thing changes the scenario if they got up I'm sorry. But yeah, I think you know what I mean. So let me see. Let me look at the comments. The dad set a fine boundary at first, but his reactions to response pushes him into asshole territory. If you set a boundary and someone respects it, you don't get to whine about the result. It's creepy. The dad's trying to. I think the poster. Is this the poster? No. Okay, but so people are saying that the dad is not happy with it. It could be narcissism, but I bet it's religion instead. But the younger brother was allowed to have it too, so is it really religion? And then someone said, I'm getting misogyny. It's okay for her younger minor brother to have his minor GF stay in the room, but not for the adult daughter. Maybe. I don't really know. I feel like there's some information we're missing out on. Anyway. Let's say we're gonna go... Am I the asshole for smoking on my balcony? Probably not. Explicit question for bot. Am I the asshole for continuing to smoke on my balcony and buying more stuff when my neighbor says he's allergic to it? Yes. Okay, never mind. Based off the title, no, but I can already guess off that one sentence. Yes, your neighbor's allergic, but you're gonna keep smoking? Boy. I'm gonna read it, but that just sounds horrid. So, am I the asshole for continuing to smoke on my balcony and buying stuff when my neighbor says he's allergic to it? Now, this could change if his neighbor's not actually allergic to it, but I smoke. Yes, I know I'm being an asshole to myself. Get that out of the way. Okay, whatever. I never actually smoke cigarettes, just joints, although with tobacco. I believe the tobacco makes marijuana burn better, but I get nothing from it, or at least choose to believe it. My neighbor, whom I saw 6 months ago, banged on my door 2 days ago, asked me if I smoke, then said he was allergic to marijuana, if I could please not smoke on the balcony anymore. His attitude seemed to be that now he had explained I would obviously not smoke on the balcony anymore. I said I try to smoke less, and he said not less, not at all. He suggested I just smoke in my apartment, said no, my apartment would stink, and added that even in Finland, I went out to smoke even in negative 25 degrees Celsius. So he said I could go to the rooftop or just outside, which I suppose I could, but I like sitting on my chair with fresh tea, solving world problems in my head, so you want to relax instead of stand. I think it suddenly became a problem because it's hot now and the balcony is pleasant. When I was outside in a balmy negative 5 Celsius wrecking my lungs, I guess it didn't affect him. Well, yesterday he came for work and threw a fit, didn't come over but slammed doors and either shouting to the void or somebody on the phone about what an asshole I was. My stash finished yesterday, so today he probably thinks I've reformed, but I will reorder. I'm gonna go ahead and say, I'm gonna say you're the asshole. I think that's kind of clear based off what you're saying here. I mean, honestly, with the first sentence, you're kind of... Am I the asshole for continuing to smoke on my balcony even when my neighbor's allergic to it? I think that's a no-brainer. Maybe if he was lying about it just because he didn't like you smoking. But if he's actually allergic, what are you doing? He can get seriously... Yes, you are! And all the comments are seeming to agree with my opinion here. When you live in a shared space, you have to be considerate. Just go to the rooftop. It's not like he's saying you can't... Well, he is saying you can't smoke it all there, but you can go to other places and smoke. Just don't do it. Like, if he's allergic, you can't do that. Yes, you are the asshole there. I think that's our first one where I say they specifically are. Yeah, I feel like that's a no-brainer. I don't know about you, but I don't know about you. Let's see. Okay, I think this person is saying they believe they're not the asshole here, but am I the asshole for not wanting my husband to go golf every other day of our family vacation? Ooh, okay. We're going on a family trip to Mexico in a few weeks. It'll be my family, which is my husband, myself, and our 2-year-old son, my in-laws, my brother-in-law and his girlfriend, and my sister-in-law and her husband, and 4 kids. We have 6 full days at the resort and 2 travel days. The resort has a golf course, and he wants to go golfing with the boys, which I'm totally fine with. However, he told me he wants to do 3 rounds of golf, so golfing every other day. I personally feel like this is excessive and told him I would rather do 2. I would like to spend all time all together as a family. He's willing to take our son with him, but he's 2, so he can't go for a whole 18 holes of golf in the sun. My husband thinks I'm being unreasonable, asking him to do 2 instead of 3. Am I the asshole? edit. He took a boys trip with his dad and brothers to this course 2 years ago and got to golf 4 times, so it's not a new experience. I actually do believe this poster's not the asshole here. It's family vacation, and I understand it's a vacation, so you're supposed to enjoy your time. You could take that stance in defense of the man who's want to do 3 golf rounds with the boys. You could take the defense and say it's a vacation, so we're trying to have fun. Why can't she go have fun? But specifically, it's supposed to be a family trip. So it's not like she said you can't go golfing at all. You're getting 2 instead of 3. That's not horrible. You know, you're still getting 2 golfs. Again, yeah, you could say, well, it's a vacation, so I'm trying to have fun. Why can't I? You're still gonna get to have fun. And apparently, it's not a new experience either. They did this 2 years ago, apparently. So according to what the poster says, I don't believe this poster's an asshole. Some of the comments I think most of the comments are agreeing. Okay, well, I might have found someone who disagreed. Hold on. I mean, well, yes, I agree. I don't want to make my son oh, this is the poster. Never mind. Okay. Wanting to poop alone? Brother. What are we talking about? Hold on. Okay. I asked my husband to take our 19-month-old with him this morning to drop my daughter off at school. I asked him so that I could use the bathroom alone. Every time I try to poop, my son either screams outside the door or wants to sit on my lap. My husband took him and ran into traffic, roads closed, trains stuck, etc. Until they were driving for an hour. My son wasn't happy about it and screamed the whole time. My husband gets home and starts screaming that it's not fair to our son that I lock him in a chair in the car for an hour so that I can use the bathroom. He says I'm the asshole because our son shouldn't have to deal with that. Are you the asshole for wanting to poop? Oh. I'm not sure I have an opinion on this one, to be honest. I don't really know. I mean, I don't really have an opinion on this one. I don't know. Okay. I think I'm going to move on from the Reddit stories now, but I'll probably incorporate those in the future. Now, I want to talk about this real quick. So, I watched a Joe Bartolozzi reaction to a video, and it was about ancient humans using drugs, because it was very possible with cannabis and shrooms. Now, it probably wouldn't be as strong as like cannabis specifically. The cannabis that they were using was probably way less strong than it is today. But that still stands here. We have to know, look, what I'm trying to say is, let's see how this could, okay, look, really quickly, I'm not stating my personal opinion on this, but you could argue that some religion could have been created. I'm saying could have. I'm not saying yes, it did. But I'm saying there's a chance that a bunch of religious stuff was created from people on drugs, like ancient religions and stuff. You could say that because, I mean, it's an argument from the other side here. You could say that's true because I'm not mocking anything here, but if you're on shrooms and you're like, oh, I see a figure, they're carrying me to the gates or something like that, like the gates of Valhalla. I'm joking, but they can't and then you somehow remember it and it slowly spreads over time. You know, there's a chance it could have been because people were, on drugs at the time. I think I personally do believe this part's true. It's not about religion, but that a lot of things were invented, or at least thought of to be invented later on because they went on shrooms or like drugs or something. An example, cooking food over fire. Or creating fire in general. Maybe not creating fire, but cooking food over fire. They used to just eat fruit, vegetables, and then just straight up raw meat. This was very, very ancient. Like, not even like the ancient period of civilization with like Greeks and stuff, like way before that. Like nomadic groups, stuff like that. They'd eat like maybe before that. I'm not too sure about the time period, but it would just be raw meat for the meat. But you think potentially they had a really good trip and they had an idea just to throw their like raw beef over fire, and then after a while it just tasted better to them and it was easier to chew. I personally believe that is true. I think that's probably true in my opinion. But going back to the religion thing, it's an argument. I personally think it could make sense, I'm not saying I'm not saying it's true. I'm just saying, it's not a horrible theory to think of. And when I say that, I'm not talking about every single religion on the planet that's been created. I'm just referring to a couple. And then another thing, this isn't really about the whole humans taking drugs or whatever, but I think the idea of an afterlife, regardless if it's true or not, it could have been thought upon by people just because they were too scared to die because the afterlife is like your soul, like your current body, mind, and soul just being transported to like a new realm, carried to a new realm, right? But you still stay the same with your same personality. Regardless if that's true or not in any way, shape, or form, some would argue that some afterlife realms, again, could have just been thought of, or the idea of an afterlife, some would argue that it could have just been thought of because people didn't want to, completely be, like, gone. They wanted them to be transported where they could live on forever without suffer. Of course, that's a very controversial topic, but I mean, it does somewhat make, it kind of sounds, it sounds like a sound theory. I'm not saying it's true once again, but it's just an idea. But hold on, Skylar might be able to hop on the pod right now. Hold on. Skylar might be able to hop on the pod right now. He just texted me. Let's see if he can hop on right now. He said, yeah, alright, we're calling him. We're calling him right now. I know you can't hear it. Okay, you're on the pod right now, by the way. I've been going for like 30. It's a solo pod, and I've just been reading stuff on like Reddit stories. And he just left. Okay, I guess he couldn't. Hello.
Hello.
There you go. Okay, I've been recording a solo podcast for like 35 minutes right now, and now
Why
you're
have you
on
been
midway.
doing it solo?
Because I wanted to really do it, and to fill time, I've just been going on Reddit and doing like those "Am I the Asshole" stories, and I've been giving my opinion. I feel like some of them are fake, to be honest, but
Can we review them together?
yeah, let's go review them. Let me search
There's
it up
some
real quick.
interesting ones on there. I've seen them.
Yeah, I'm gonna share my screen with you. Also, they can't specifically see the screen. I'm probably just going to throw gameplay or something, but they can definitely hear us talking. Anyway, we're just going to scroll down right here. No, we're not doing that one, actually. What is the... Okay, are you looking?
Yeah.
Alright, here we go. Am I the asshole for telling my parents I'm done coming home for the holidays? I've gone home every holiday ever since I moved out. Every single time it's the same thing. My mom criticizes everything about me, my apartment, my job, my boyfriend, my weight, and what I'm eating at the dinner table. Literally everything, and it makes me feel bad about myself. Nobody defends me, and they just sit there awkwardly. Last Thanksgiving, she made a comment about how I wasn't taking care of myself and for my extended family. I laughed it off, but I was basically about to cry. So this year I told them I wasn't coming home for any holidays. I said I loved them, but I needed a break, and I would FaceTime them every holiday. So it'd be like I was there. My mom immediately started having a fit and said I wasn't respecting her as a family, because she barely sees me and my younger cousins and nieces, and she wants to see me. My dad texted me separately saying he understood why I didn't want to go, but wanted me to come and just deal with my mom's criticism. I get he wants to see me, but every time my self worth just gets worse. I feel like this shouldn't be a big deal, but my mom's being dramatic. And I just can't do it anymore. I guess my mom or dad told my aunts and uncles because two of them texted me saying their children love me and would be sad to see me come. I'm just gonna skip past them. I feel guilty, but I also feel like I've given them years of holidays and one boundary. Shouldn't cause this much drama. Am I the asshole? No. Your opinion?
I don't think so.
And I'm gonna look at some of these comments. Okay, who is saying they are though? Who's saying they're the asshole for this? If the mother criticizes the person each time and makes them feel horrible, you can, and then the mom is hypocritical, saying that she should still come and deal with it or whatever. I don't. Besides, if your family's anything like, okay, so in my family that would be wait. Worried the mom will shift. Yeah, I don't think you are. I don't know who says yeah. Yeah, you are. You are. Oh boy, what it has to do. Gee, long story, bro. Yapathon. My brother, 27 years old and male. I think that's what that's supposed to be. It just says 27M. So I'm gonna. Never mind. It says he was 19. Bro, what? My brother, 27M, was in an accident.
was in an accident when he was 19.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I see. So he was in an accident when he was 19. This accident changed everything about both his life and the lives of my sister, 22, female, myself, 24, male, and our parents for years after this accident. Both my sister and I became his caregivers of the brother. Years have passed, and my brother has mostly recovered to where he can live on his own and function like anybody else. We're incredibly proud of how far he's come and so happy to see him back to his old self. This is where the issue started. His new boyfriend, 28 male, is the sweetest, kindest, most upfront person on the face of the planet. He's also very open and honest about his hardships that he's faced in his life, and always talking about how honesty is the most vital part of the healing process. When my brother first started seeing him, I figured that he would have already told him about the disability and the crash or whatever accident. And yet 3 months later, when I officially met his new boyfriend, it became blazingly obvious to both my sister and I that he never told his boyfriend. I wanted to talk to his boyfriend right away, but my sister told me not to, that I should let my brother tell the boyfriend at the time. At the time never seemed to come. Okay, so I feel like I already know what's gonna come. The poster's gonna tell the brother who was in an accident's boyfriend, and then the brother's gonna be mad. Anyway, almost a year later, I went to help my brother move in to his boyfriend's apartment. There was no one thought, and there was no thought or care towards making things accessible for him. And the things his boyfriend was asking him to do was simply things that my sister and I knew weren't possible. All things considered, my brother brushed it off and delegated this task to me or my sister. When my brother and sister left the apartment, I took the opportunity to explain everything to, telling the boyfriend. His boyfriend had told me that he was very aware of the disability, but what he knew only scratched the surface. I explained what things my brother might need help with, and I figured it was over. A week ago, my brother called me, cussing me out for it. Okay, so essentially, she told when she wasn't supposed to, and the brother didn't like that. What are your thoughts on this?
I don't think he should have. I don't think he should have gotten that mad.
Yeah, I
I
think,
think she did the right thing.
yeah, or whatever. 20, I think it's I'm not sure, but regardless, the poster telling the boyfriend or whatever, I don't know, cause I don't think it's that bad, because it looks like the boyfriend's somewhat aware that it's a thing, but only knows a little bit. So I don't know that she's the I don't think so, but Apparently, this poster thinks they are or something. I'm not sure. Let me check. This reads like a text. But they were, and the brother could disclose, and they'd figure it out as a couple. I don't know because it didn't look like the brother, this poster's brother, was gonna tell his partner anyway. It looked like it was never gonna happen. So I think this poster, to an extent, did the right thing. I'm not too. It's kind of in the middle. It's up in the air. Oh boy, what is this? Am I the asshole for calling out a guy manspreading on the train?
What does that mean?
It's when. So usually males tend to spread their legs when sitting, and women tend to not do that.
Oh, yeah.
So I feel like I can already tell this. You most likely are, but let me check. Got on a train in Rome, and the man was sitting between two seats. Got on, and there were two seats free. And a lady sat down, and he didn't move. I stood there in between them waiting for him to move. I was waiting for him to give way. Then he moved after about 5 seconds. When I sat down, he stared me down. I asked him, "Is there a problem?" He rolled his eyes and said, "I could have asked politely." He said, "That's basic etiquette." I said, "You were manspreading and you want me to beg for a seat?" Basic etiquette dictates you move when people get on the train and you give it away if you're sitting on two seats. Maybe I was getting defensive, but as an Asian woman, perhaps he thought I would just stay quiet. Sorry, bro, I've
What
been
does that
drinking
have to
so
do
much.
with it?
Yeah, I
Mm.
don't know. But as an Asian woman, I mean, I guess, this character's a woman now, thanks. But then my friend started asking questions, and I explained I was getting agitated. And then he put on his earbuds and left. My partner sat down next to me and said I could have asked first. I said I didn't because I expected him to move, as most people would. If he hadn't moved in 10 seconds, then I would have asked. I didn't ask immediately because I thought, okay, so she wanted him to move, like, because of etiquette. I'm sorry my voice is weird, bro. I gotta drink water right now. Bro, I don't know what's wrong with my... Jesus. Anyway, I think I'm good now, but...
Aspect.
Yeah, I'm dying. Alright, I think I'm good now, bro. I just need some water. I gotta stay
This whole
hydrated.
video is gonna be you coughing.
Yeah, probably. I feel bad for causing a small scene on the train, but at the same time, I feel this is a classic example of people misbehaving. And it's the woman's job to always be polite.
I want to watch this when it comes out so I can see the stories that you read before.
So essentially, summarized, a man on a train was sitting on two seats, quote unquote, man spreading. And this person who, she specifically explained she's an Asian woman. So this Asian
For some
woman,
reason.
so she expected the man to move his legs for her, but he didn't, and she thought that was basic etiquette. What do you think?
I would say there is.
I think she's right. Actually, I based off the title, I thought she was gonna be wrong, but I mean, then again, she said in the post that if he didn't move in 10 seconds, she would have asked. And this guy seems like he was kind of being mean, bro. He rolled his eyes. You're not tough.
He was gonna be rude. That
You might have to
reminds me
read the
of
next one. I'm not gonna lie, my voice is dying.
when I went to New York. At the airport to go there, there's this guy that just wouldn't move his bag for me to sit down.
Wild. That's kind of a similar scenario there, but I remember this has nothing to do with the
he was
story,
too
but
focused in his music because he had AirPods on.
I remember at the airport one time, I was in the bathroom. It has nothing to do, but this kid was actually a school bully, like a stereotypical school bully, because this kid said, "Bad morning," and he walked away. You're not tough, brother. He was in the back. This kid was like, I think up to my stomach in height.
Up to your stomach.
And he looked up and said, "Bad morning." He didn't say it like that, but he said "bad morning," and walked away.
Bro was having a bad day.
Bro's in his emo phase.
It's just a phase.
Yeah. You might have to read the next story, bro. I'm already halfway down the water bottle. Alright, let's go.
I'm trying to get something open.
What are you trying to get open that's taking that long?
Mm.
I can hear you struggling, too.
Because it won't come open.
What are you trying to open? What are you opening? What's taking this long? Look, guys, we don't know what he's opening, but apparently it's bad.
It's a secret.
It's a secret. I can't help you there if I don't know.
I got it open.
I saw a post earlier. It was off camera, but it said, "Am I the asshole for throwing a grenade in the crowd?" I'm gonna assume I'm gonna assume they're being sarcastic, but am I the asshole for throwing a grenade in the crowd?
I don't know.
I think so. It said pull
In
the
my
pin.
personal opinion, I think you are.
Yeah, I think I gotta go with Skylar on this one. Let's see. Am I the asshole for sleeping in 53 more minutes, bro? I think you might be the bad guy there, throwing grenades in a crowd. This is a short story, so I might get to read this without coughing. So for context, me and my girlfriend and I have been playing a video game that we found, and we played it for about all day yesterday, besides like a middle of the day nap where I spent like 5-ish hours to myself. Then last night she goes to my bed around 11 p.m. and told me she was gonna call me, and when she wakes up, so I stay up a little. I've got to read what? So my girlfriend and I have been playing a video game we found, and we spent all day playing it yesterday. And I took a nap, and then around 11 p.m. she goes to bed around 11 p.m. Told me she was gonna call me when she wakes up, so I stay up a little till 3 a.m. playing my games. I go to sleep. I wake up about 7 a.m. from her call. I'm calling to wake you up. You should wake up and go to the gas station and get caffeine. The call hangs up, but since I'm laying on my bed and still tired, I slip back in my sleep for 53 minutes. Hasn't been a full hour. Alright, I see what you're trying to say right there. It hasn't been a full hour, but you're only a couple minutes from a full hour, bro. I don't know what you're trying to justify there. Yeah, I fell asleep for 53 minutes. It's not even a full hour. It's pretty close. I don't see it as disrespecting our time. It's just 53 minutes. Still very early in the morning. Am I being the asshole? I don't think it's that serious.
I think you are a little bit.
Just a little. Yeah, this says not enough info. There really is not enough info, but based off just kind of a little bit. But then again, well, I mean, she did give you advice at least. I don't know. I feel like we need more info that's being left out here. So just a little. Let's see.
Oh no, very bad.
Okay. I'm gonna look at this story right here. I'm just gonna read it and then I'll summarize it. My uncle texted me this morning asking if I could watch his son, which is the poster's cousin, today. All day, last minute. He was really urgent and panicked, so I agree. My cousin is an adult, but he's mentally disabled. He watches cartoons for preschoolers and can't spell his own name, but he's not physically disabled or anything. He can walk and use the bathroom and is mostly independent. I didn't have any groceries, and I didn't know when my uncle would be able to pick him up or if I should cook for him. So I decided to go to the store. I asked him if he was fine to stay alone, and he said yes. 30 minutes later, I get a call from my uncle. Apparently, my cousin called 911 and told him I left him alone over an hour ago. I have timestamps from calls, and I got the call at 3:17. He wasn't hurt or anything while he was alone. He rummaged through my shit and ate crackers, but that's it. so there wasn't any harm. I get that he's disabled, but the entire issue was caused by him lying for no reason. I babysat my mentally disabled cousin all day. I left him alone 30 minutes. He called 911. I left him alone for over an hour. Okay. Yeah, I think you probably are. You gotta expect the worst. I'm gonna summarize the story to Skylar when he comes back, but the cousin's like the cousin of you is mentally disabled. He's not physically, but he's mentally. So you don't know what he's gonna get up to, like when you're gone, even if it's only for 30 minutes. I feel like this is kind of like a leave your baby alone for 30 minutes as a parent. I feel like you can't leave him alone if you don't know what's going to happen when he's gone. Especially if he's not physically, but he's mentally. You don't know what's going to happen. I think you probably are. I'm not going to lie. People are saying you are the asshole. They're agreeing. Yeah, this is a parent. Don't leave your kids unable to spell their own name. People are asking, can the cousin tell the time in the comments? I don't think that's important. If the cousin can tell the time, I don't think that really does that matter a ton. I feel like, I left for 30 minutes, but again, it's like leaving a kid alone. You know, you don't know what's gonna happen, even if it's only for 30 minutes. You know, you gotta remember that this person can't even spell their own name, so they don't know what's gonna happen. You can't leave them alone. That's my opinion on it, but I think everyone in the comments agrees. Okay. Alright, yeah, I'm just gonna wait for Skylar now, but it's insane. I'd say you probably are right there. Hold on. Okay. Yo, you back yet? I thought he was back, I'm not gonna lie. Alright. Yeah, that might be the end of the story. There's way more, but I don't know how much I need to read. Okay, I'm not gonna read this whole story because it's so long, but I'm gonna read the title. Am I the asshole for cooking for my family and ending up feeding the food to my pets and leaving the family with none? Yeah, probably. Unless someone's allergic, but I feel like you made them so they could eat it and then you gave it all to the pets. I feel like, yeah, probably. Okay, this is like a would I be one. If I tell how my friend about my other friends, how my friend... It doesn't make any sense. Anyway, I'm going to get off the topic of Reddit stories in a moment. Or like right now for just a little bit, probably. Fears to Fathom Scratch Creek is coming out soon. And I will definitely be playing that on the channel with Scott, because apparently this Fears to Fathom game is multiplayer. So if I quickly show you real quick here. After noticing bone-chilling similarities to an episode of Fears to Fathom, Tessa and Marcus decided to share their own experience.
Yo, where did we go?
Okay, really quickly.
What happened?
Exclusively online. Okay, so really quickly, I'll summarize the last one I just read without you, but I was just kind of talking about Fears to Fathom Scratch Creek. I have more theories about the story, because here's the description. After noticing bone-chilling similarities to an episode of Fears to Fathom, the two people decide to share their own experience. So maybe this Fierce Development episode's similar to some in the past, and maybe this is a really recent story, because these people, it sounds like these people watched or played Fierce to Fathom, and then saw that this is similar. But it says Crash Creek's exclusively online co-op, so I don't think you
Well,
can.
in that case, considering that it seems like they're going to be in the house when something happens, I'd have to say they think it's similar to Woodbury.
Yep. Yeah, look at this basement. You remember the basement in Woodbury? That's what it looks like. I feel like this is going to be very... Hey, man, you need... What is this picture? Hey, man, you need some help? Yeah, this kind of looks like Woodbury. Yeah, I think... It looks like you can only play multiplayer on this game. I hope they don't
Man,
keep that
Case was
up.
going to be mad about that.
I don't know if I want to keep the whole time.
Good afternoon, Christine. This is Gary with Member Services. How are you doing today? Are you there?
Yeah, that's not me. Member Services, believe it or not. Anyway, that's insane. But am I Christine from Member Services? How are you doing? That wasn't me. Yo, you there? So you know what happened? I got a spam call and answered it. Asked if I was named Christine.
Asked if you were what?
Said, is this Christine from Member Services? And said, you there? You gotta go back in the pod in a moment. Yeah, that's not me. But
Not
anyway,
gonna lie, I don't think that's me.
I'm not Christine from Member Services. Anyway, the story that I read a moment ago, essentially this person's cousin is 24, mentally disabled to the point where he can't spell his own name. He just watches cartoons. And the poster left for 30 minutes, and then the cousin called 911, and it caused a whole scenario. Is the person for leaving the disabled cousin for 30 minutes the asshole or no?
Well, if you have to go do something, then no.
It said, let's see.
Well, I mean, I get that he's disabled, but, you gotta go do something.
I didn't order food because I only had okay, so because apparently I went to go get food. I feel like that could have waited. Because apparently it's saying I may be misreading this, but apparently it's saying like the uncle was texting or to come over or something, and then the person I think left early for 30. I may be misreading, but left early for 30 minutes to go get food. And when he came back, the mentally disabled cousin like called 911 and told them I left him for an hour.
You want to show the viewers the beautiful chocolate milk I made?
Sure. Hold on. I gotta make sure that they only nothing else. Hold on. Is that what you couldn't get open? I gotta show them real quick.
No, that's not what I couldn't get open, but
Okay,
I did make some chocolate milk.
Alright.
Not chocolate milk, strawberry
I was
milk.
gonna say, that doesn't look like chocolate milk to me.
No,
I don't know what chocolate milk you're making, but that's the mysterious goo. That's not chocolate milk.
This is amazing strawberry milk.
Yeah. What could this kid not get open? I want to know. I wonder if this kid's gonna tell me after the pod.
Cake.
It was cake. You couldn't get open cake. How could you not get it open? I feel like that's kind of easy. Audio listeners, when we show the strawberry milk brother cook. But yeah, for this Reddit post, the disabled cousin, I guess I don't really know. Oh, never mind. I think I understand. Okay, never mind. I misread it. So the uncle texted saying if he could watch the disabled cousin, or if the poster could watch the cousin, and when the poster came over to watch, he left for 30 minutes, and then the uncle got mad because he left for 30 minutes just to go get food, I think. Never mind. Okay. He probably shouldn't have left for 30 minutes though. I don't think he should have left. Cause it's like leaving alone a baby as a parent. You probably shouldn't leave them alone. But I don't know. Also, this podcast has been going for an hour. He's been here for like 20 something minutes, 30 minutes. That's pretty W. Yeah, you've got to watch the pod when it comes out to see the parts you weren't there for.
You know what? I do think he's the asshole.
Yeah. Bro changed his
I was
opinion.
mad.
What are these like roles? These like it's the Reddit mods for the server. What do you mean ass guardian? Bro, what?
Uh,
And then who is Bossly342? That's a role too. Only one the 342nd person to get it. I kind of find it funny that some people will downvote the post just because they're the asshole and it's not interesting. You gotta scroll far. That might be the end of the pod.
Is Reddit one of those websites where it scrolls all the way back up when you go back?
Yeah. I wonder how many posts are actually on the subreddit, because if I just keep going, there's so many. 4 days ago, 5 days ago. What I really wonder, what was the first post on this? I'm not gonna go because we're going down and we're only hitting like the 1 month mark. Sometimes like 10 days ago. But I wonder what was the first post.
What's
That's gonna be legendary. Alright, let me make sure.
What was the first post?
What's it? Is it? It's called r/am I the asshole. r/am the asshole. A question asking if he was the jerk in a debate with his female co-workers over the office thermostat. What? It was created in June 2013. And it was a question asking if he was the jerk in a debate with his female coworker over the office thermostat and air conditioning. That's like the lamest. I mean, I guess.
It told me that it was lost to time.
Google's got some favorites, don't they? Bro, you remember when the AI overview on Google? Remember when it first came out? And it would just take any advice off the internet, and it was bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I saw one that said, "What to do if my pizza tastes bad?" And like 10 years ago, a Reddit user was being sarcastic, and he said, "Put glue on the pizza," and the AI actually recommended that. It said, "Reddit user blank recommends putting glue on pizza."
I found out that they use a different kind of Gemini called Gemini Flash. It's not the actual Gemini that we use.
Gemini Flash?
It's like a stupider version of Gemini that's faster.
Let me look at I'm gonna ask Gemini Flash some questions. A Gemini Flash.
Apparently, r/am I the asshole was created in 2013.
Let's see. Let's see if Google still says it. Should I put glue on my pizza? Oh, it fixed. Let me show you guys. It finally fixed. No, you should not put glue on your pizza.
Reddit was founded in June 2000.
Oh, look, here it is. Did you know adding glue to your pizza recipe can help the cheese stick better?
Uh,
Should I eat glue?
yeah.
Oh, it's thinking I'm asking this so I can like make the cheese not slide. Who's putting glue? According to Reddit user, put
No.
glue on pizza.
No.
Why'd you say no?
They fixed the what fruits end in
Oh no, yeah.
But it does. But the AI does add a note. You might have come across the popular internet meme featuring AI generated like apple, strawberry, but those are just made up jokes.
Oh no. It doesn't say that for me. It just tells me that end. Wait a minute.
Oh wait, it's below it. It's below it. You can still find it.
Look at this. Apple, banana. It's here for me. Why is this on the Steam community page? Why would you go to Steam for this? The end in
Because Steam community pages have everything.
Yeah. We've been an hour, 8 minutes into the pod. It might be ending soon. I mean the episode, by the way. Not.
I closed Discord on accident.
Oh, dang. I said I might be ending this episode soon. It's been going for about an hour.
Why didn't you send me the basher at its finest?
I gotta show the actual. I'm gonna show one clip before we go. They used to call me Basher.
They used to call me basher.
Let me show the people.
Hey, Milk, sorry that these guys are fucking teasing you. I know what it's like to have everyone against you.
Top 10 Sigma quotes, dog.
And, I mean, you guys can clown me all you want on the internet, but if I were to see you IRL...
You're talking about IRL. This is Overwatch. Shut up.
Because you know, in high school they used to call me Basher, because I used to bash people's heads in the lockers.
Oh my god,
You're laughing, but if you were to see me, you'd probably be trembling.
You'd probably be trembling.
Some fat American on the internet does not scare me.
Hey, buddy, I've been shot. I served, dude.
You served?
Yeah, I served. Are you getting offended, a little f***ing softy?
Soft.
Let the Basher speak.
I like being called Mr. Basher, man. It's taking me right back to high school.
We're in here with a certified fucking senior citizen.
I'm 26, little kid. When I was around your guys' age, 12 years old, I used to light matches for fun. I have a scar.
You did not light matches for fun. Alright, I'm gonna end the episode there, but back in high school they used to call me Basher.